Environmental density reports the economic and environmental impact of existing development as well as proposed development. It can also help identify waste in a proposed design so that it can be refined to a more efficient alternative. Land development is the newly creation of man-made surfaces over the natural terrain, which is an existing organic surface. Those surfaces have a direct environmental and economic impact influencing the developer's profits or losses, which is most often passed off to the consumer in higher home prices. For the past few centuries, the submittal of site plans has been based on the hand-drawn drafting of streets, boundaries, lot lines, and setbacks. With pen on paper, there was no computer-aided drafting layering system. Yet a subdivision plat of 1923 will have the identical information of a CAD-created plat submitted today. The typical CAD-created site plan will have hundreds if not thousands of layers to define various elements being drawn. In the world around you, can you see any layers of line work that defines your environment? There are no layers, only surfaces. In a surface-based technology, those hundreds of layers can be eliminated. To define a new surface, you enter a simple name and create a new fill. This fill can be any color or a tiled texture. If it is a tiled texture, the size of the tile is also defined. The newly defined surface is tagged if it's impervious or not. Simply put, if the surface is tagged as impervious, then it's essentially a newly created man-made element that is being proposed on raw land. A more descriptive name is defined for reports and charts to communicate the impact of what's being created. Surfaces can be further defined for automated 3D representation, have costs added, can be defined for financial analysis, and much more. Once the surface is created, it is available to define any closed geometric area. An example is that a survey of a site is no longer just a drawing to be filed away, but instead, a wealth of useful information that the client will appreciate. The surfaces on a survey expand the legal documentabilities. For example, error-free legal descriptions are a simple button press. To the land planner designing a new development, those colors and textures eliminate the need to embellish the presentation with a graphics software such as Photoshop. When designing, the planner can get an instant analysis of the efficiency of the plan they are proposing and make changes before presenting to their client. To the city harnessing the power of a surface-based system, they can provide feedback from the environmental density charts to identify and report waste in the proposal. This waste can often save the developer millions of dollars in excess construction costs as well as reduce the ongoing burden to maintain the excessive public infrastructure. CAD and GIS software firms have promised 3D abilities for nearly 3 decades. Yet when was the last time a newly designed land development was presented in 3D? With a surface-based civil engineering and land surveying design technology, all one needs to do is drape selected surfaces over the existing or proposed digital terrain model, and the basis of the 3D platform is produced with less than a minute of additional effort. The base can then have hundreds of 3D homes dropped on it in less than an hour, all automatically set at the proper elevations. Because the 3D harnesses video gaming technology, the learning curve is reduced to minutes, and VR headset support is merely plug and play. Using surfaces as the basis for 3D modeling eliminates the time and complexity of CAD and GIS software. Again, for the past few centuries, the submittal of site plans has been based on the hand-drawn drafting of streets, boundaries, lot lines, and setbacks. What was acceptable in 1823 or 1923 is not acceptable in 2023. Isn't it time for a change? Land developers should demand interactive 3D be part of the deliverables from their consultants. Cities should also retool to make interactive 3D and VR the primary media from which to judge proposals. With a surface-based technology having environmental density reporting, it provides the communication power to make better decisions and provide useful feedback that will enhance the developer's profitability. This is a win-win situation for everyone. For the past 40 years, we have been pioneering the development of precision, three-dimensional surface-centric advanced surveying, engineering, and planning technology, creating the next leap in improving design. Our Land Mentor is the next generation solution. Until the end of 2023, We have made this system available to the consulting industry and cities for free at www.landmentor.com. As always, Rick Harrison's Site Design Studio is available to consult with cities and developers to create more efficient and attractive neighborhoods.